Hey everybody, Delta Flight Gaming, and we're back again, going to LA with the Fallen Idol case. How has everyone's weekend been? Hopefully, awesome. This past weekend, I've pretty much been doing classwork, or I've been looking at kind of old news, by now at least.
Phelps, Bukowski, you have a new case. 2 women. Possible drink drive.
How is that a case?
The broad says she was doped and that somebody tried to kill her.
Where did this take place?
That's the bit you're gonna love. Right across the street.
What?
A Chevy
Wait.
Styline took a nosedive off the escarpment, fetched up underneath a Cola King billboard. Up to it, boys. We got bad guys
If
to
I remember
catch.
this case right, this is the one that I always hated when it first came out, because I could never tell. There's this
See you later,
chick
fellas.
that, like, she always has
Try
this
not to
like
work too
stone
hard.
cold face,
Look at you.
or she's always looks like she's like,
Tear to my
I don't know, but it was always hard for me to figure out, because when I got it, it had just came
Just
out,
trying to fit in.
you know, and I had
Educated,
gotten
hardworking,
further ahead at the
straight as
time
now.
than the
Great people.
guides were coming out, and I hated it. If this is the right one I was thinking of, but anyways, going back to this news that I was looking at the new news about fucking EA canceling another Star Wars game, which, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, at this point in time, I know that they're paid, their exclusivity expires in 2023, so no one else can touch the Star Wars license, but they've only put out 2 mediocre games, the last one being Battlefront 2, which was super panned. And I don't play a lot of online games or like first-person shooters all that often. And the thing that I hated was the fact that they got Amy Hennig to do the first one that got canceled. You know, the chick who did Uncharted, which that would have been just, hey, Amy Hennig from Uncharted doing Star Wars.
Her face looks
Done.
familiar.
Like,
Well, that's June Ballard.
Yep, this is the
Tarzan's
that
sister.
woman. This
Beast
is
of the
her.
Amazon. She's married to Guy McAfee. The captain has moved to Vegas now, but the 2 of them still have juice.
My audio just dipped.
Phelps, traffic.
Detective Phelps. Hey, Bukowski. Long time no see.
You could have called this in by megaphone, Enrique. Phelps, this is Enrique Gonzalez. Enrique was a pretty decent middleweight. What do we have, Gonzalez?
Broad drives right through the empty lot and off the side of the escarpment. Her story is that a movie producer doped her and her friend and sent the car over the cliff.
Was anyone hurt?
Driver's beat up. Not too bad considering. If she hadn't hit that billboard, we'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passenger's a Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to central receiving. If you want to take a look around, you can stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough.
Okay, so yeah, you know, you had Amy Hennig of Uncharted doing
if you're looking
that,
for
and
the
they canceled
coroner, he's
that.
down
Then
by
there
the
was Star
crash
Wars
site.
1313, which to me, I didn't know what it was until someone was telling me that it was like a how Boba Fett came to be Boba Fett, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that too. And then after they do that, they change it up and say, hey, we're gonna make a Skyrim-esque multiplayer game. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe, depending upon how well that works. Scrap that one too. And then I can't remember if it was, I think it was Pat NES Punk or someone else. I was looking at, they were talking about it, and I think it was Pat NES Punk, because I think Ian was talking about how
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
how like EA is like, oh, no one's kind of wanting to be interested in the Knights of the Republic
Looks like they're lucky they weren't more badly
Knights of the
injured.
Republic game, and I'm like,
Must have been
pretty much
unconscious.
everybody who played 1 and 2
Being relaxed
wants
tends to lessen the
another
soft
Knights of the
tissue
Republic game. You know, and I hate the fact that people think that, oh, there's no good single players out there. That game, they don't make single player games anymore, and it's like, that's just straight up bullshit. Like, you got this game, for example. There's the Spyro trilogy. There's, hell, Uncharted. There's 5 games in that series right now. And Kingdom Hearts, which comes out, I don't know, today. When this video is uploaded, it should come out that day.
Where
at
did you
least that
find them?
week. Yep, just wash it back and forth.
Stuff in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
But yeah, I think that the whole, there's no more benefits in single player games, I think is a bullshit idea for any perspective. I mean, even for EA. I mean, EA is
way
just
from home.
That's a whole fucking box of worms right there. And then what was the other one I was looking at? Fallout 76.
Drunk driver?
Again.
Maybe
more
not.
shit with that.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead.
How does someone manage to tip their ride straight off a cliff? If the driver's in a fit state, we should ask.
So the Fallout 76, the Nuka Rum, which, a buddy of mine tagged me in it before when they were first announced it, which I think was right around or right before they announced Fallout 76.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I
I
prefer
hate
to
this
use my
woman.
maiden name, June Ballard. You might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of
You? I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident.
This
Mrs.
part I used a
McAfee.
guide for because
The officer says that you
did
claimed that
not
you were
want to
drugged.
screw this up.
Who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
It's a serious offense to withhold information from the police during a criminal investigation, madam.
I told you to call me June. You're making me feel like an old lady.
That's gross.
And don't bother your handsome head about this. My husband will settle the score with Mark Bishop.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
I think you're lying, Mrs. McAfee. I think something happened to Jessica yesterday before
Here's my
the crash.
question.
I'm
Were
offended,
the flashbulbs
sunshine.
that impressive
Do you have
that
any proof?
you could see the flash during the daylight?
Miss Hamilton's underwear were physically torn
I
from
just
her
noticed
body.
that.
She wanted to
Right
go
there.
to a casting. I took her to a casting. Whatever happened after that is between her and Mark Bishop.
We found a shrunken head that was used to tamper with your car.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
That sounds like a lie. Oh, yeah.
It's obviously some kind of movie prop. You must know where it came from.
Yeah, I was pretty stupid when I
In
first played
case
this
you
game.
hadn't noticed,
Not gonna lie.
I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He is a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
That looks like the truth. Huh?
I want to know what happened between you two that made him want to commit a double murder.
Bishop offered me a part in his picture.
Why you look at a guide
Then
first?
he withdrew it. Fact is, we had a
When I
deal.
have his
pressed
many
him on
5
it.
stars as possible, so I don't have to
This is
replay
where
any
I
of these
am.
missions.
Mrs. McAfee, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm going to be okay. These guys can take me home after my lawyer and I have talked to the news hounds.
Mrs. McAfee, you are still under the influence of narcotics, and you're likely to go into shock once the drugs wear off.
And I thought you were a heel. It's nice of you to be concerned.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
So, going back to this Fallout 76 and the dark of the Nuka dark rum. Buddy of mine, he tagged me in it on Facebook or something, or he texted it to me or something like that. And, hang on. Sorry. So, at first I was like, I'm a, rum, whiskey drinker, and I'm all fine with that. And, so at first I was thinking, okay, doesn't sound too bad. And this was before it even came out. And normally, with things like this, like special promos, even things like the the SNES, NES Classic, and stuff like that, I usually don't jump on things like right away. Like I don't try and buy something day one. I usually either let it come out for a little while, and if it's games, if it's something that I want, then yeah, I might jump on it right away if I know it's going to be, like if I know what I'm getting into. Like with Fallout 4, like I know I was getting into an open world with a lot of bugs. Like that's just Bethesda's MO. I had the
Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica
Skyrim
Hamilton.
on PS3.
Jessica Hamilton.
And
Oh,
there were
yes.
multiple
She's in
times
the
where I would
room,
lose like an
right behind
hour,
you, detective.
up to an hour's worth of
can't
gameplay
hold
because the
me
game would
here.
just freeze.
No, I don't
Feeling
need to
better
be
since
handled
this
by
morning,
a doctor.
Jessica?
I need my lawyer.
With the Nuka rum,
My head's
Where is
I
the
thought it was kind of a
telephone?
cool
Do
concept,
you know
cool
who
idea.
I am?
That it would be, shape of a Nuka
I don't
cola,
think so.
bottle, glass bottle, and it would be rum. Okay. Well, turns out that I was looking at, I think it was Yang Yi or Yang Yi. I don't want to mispronounce his name, his channel.
Optimistic, Cole.
But he was going in about it. And I didn't realize, because pretty much after
Not much help.
I looked into it the once, I stopped paying attention to it. And, he was talking about how, well, that it switched from a glass bottle to a plastic bottle, which, okay, that kind of sucks. And
making me uncomfortable.
I think they were using
Just standing around here looking at
coconut?
me, not saying anything.
I think it was.
Hello, Jessica.
I might be misquoting on that one, but I
My
think it
name
was
is
like
Cole
it was made
Phelps.
with like
I'm
coconut
a
or something.
policeman.
Which
I'd like to
immediately was
talk
like,
to you
all
about
right,
your
screw it,
accident,
'cause I think
if that's
coconut
okay.
tastes like plastic, so forget it.
Okay.
And it just ended up being reviewed poorly.
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
You're lying.
Tell the truth, Jessica. Why the big cover-up?
I'm not lying to you.
This isn't gonna hurt, is it?
We found your underwear in your handbag, Jessica. You need to tell us what happened.
The doctor told me what happened. I didn't want that. I just wanted to be a star, to be in movies. I told Junie what happened, and she told me to toughen up. That was the price of stardom.
Did she now, cold-hearted bitch?
It's not Junie's fault. It's not my first time. I had a boyfriend back home, but my father found out about him.
Even if you consented, Jessica, you're
Yep.
still underage.
Doesn't look good, does it, Doc?
That's correct.
We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica, to tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
What the hell was that?
You're lying, Jessica. How are we going to make this right if you lie to us?
Please, detective, why would I lie to you?
Is it a fracture?
Who the hell's talking?
Because you're a runaway, Jessica, and you don't have your parents' permission to be here. Now, do you want to tell me what really happened?
I went with Junie to this strange place. It's difficult to remember. Someone gave me a drink to calm my nerves, and then I felt faint. I think I must have passed out.
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well, Junie is a big movie star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
Like, seriously, what are those facial expressions? Are they, like, lost?
What's the story with Bishop and Mrs.
know.
McAfee? Why does he want the two of you dead?
That can't be true. Mr. Bishop seemed very happy today. I mean, yesterday.
And that's why he wedged a shrunken head against the accelerator pedal and punted the two of you over an escarpment?
I overheard Junie speaking to him on the phone a couple of times. Screaming, really. She can be very hard sometimes, Junie. But they seemed okay yesterday, like they worked it out.
I know what happened to you, Jessica. Where exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything.
What does that mean?
Jessica, I really need you to help me here.
I remember the mermaid.
Was the mermaid in the movie too?
No, it was on the front of a building. We pulled up in front of the mermaid.
Thank you, Jessica. You've been a big help. Here's my card. If you think of anything or you need some help, just get in touch, okay?
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea if you went back home till you felt better, Jessica.
I couldn't do that, officer. What if I got the part and I wasn't there?
Will it hurt?
Yep.
It's the tale of this town, Cole. Lambs that go willingly to slaughter. Who the hell is that? Must be her lawyer. He certainly expedited her release. I don't like it, Cole. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her.
Dramatic music.
There she goes. Come on.
So, back to this. I think they ended up showing there was like 35% alcohol by volume, which I don't really know. I don't know too much about like percentages because I mean I'm a personal big fan of Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Captain Morgan.
Ballard is definitely up to
whiskey
something.
and rums, like some of those ones. But they ended up showing me the price of it was like $80, and that seems a little bit steep for something that seems that you could find. I'm pretty sure one of those, Jack, Jim, or Captain, are probably around 30.
She seems to have made a remarkably speedy recovery.
Of the alcohol by volume, and they're what, like $20, $30 at most for the bigger bottles. So I don't know. I think that's just a huge kind of another publicity fuck up. And then on top of that, they found out that, and this is this is even older news, that the engine that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be using is the same one that Fallout 4 is using. So immediately I'm like, I don't want to play it. And I hate to say that. Because
Get in there and see what she's up to.
I have 3 characters, maybe 4 characters in Skyrim that I just devoted so much time, different play styles, but I just think it kind of sucks that I'm flat out saying I'm not playing this game before it even came out, and all we have is just a teaser trailer, and that was it. So I don't know, but I do know the Shadow.
Baby?
I did pick up Salt and Sanctuary on Switch.
No, I don't want him taught a lesson. You know what I want. Well, then make someone else do it. You still know people out here, don't you? Then make some calls. I'm going to be very clear about this. You get this done, or I'm... Wilson's Hotel. Mr. Mark Bishop, that son of a bitch, lives in apartment 803. Sure, I got the film.
So, but yeah, so I picked up Salt and Sanctuary on the Switch, and I'll probably play a little bit of that, you know, further down the line. God, I gotta stop saying that. Someone commented on Reddit that I do.
So what's the story?
And I do.
I'm guessing she didn't stop for like refreshments.
She made a call.
Cut that.
Sounds like Mark Bishop has a heap of trouble headed his way. I've got an address. Wilson's Hotel, apartment 803.
Oh shit! You better step on it.
If he's got any sense, he'll be as far away from home as possible.
If you had any sense, you wouldn't have tried bumping off Guy McCaffrey's wife in the first place, or he'd done the job properly. McCaffrey will break the fella's legs just for looking at Crash.
What did you make of the kid? Believe her story? I think she was doped out of her tiny mind and given the casting couch. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out.
But yeah, I'll either.
If Ballard was doing someone a favor, why did they try to kill her?
Paying attention, or something like this, or like Grand Theft Auto, just driving around at high speeds. I just get so focused on it. Hey, what are you doing? What?
All units in the vicinity
Not
call
knowing
11K, 11K.
but yeah, I'm trying to keep stuff.
Wilson's Apartment Hotel,
My own.
1220 West 7th Street, Westlake Park. 11K code 3. All other units code 2. KGPL clear.
But another one that I'm coming out with.
Done it! Let's get to the apartment before someone gets hurt.
That I'm really looking forward to is the Final Fantasies that are coming to Switch. That one I'm really looking forward to because I played 12 and I got to off the top of my head I don't know the place name anymore. I don't remember almost any bit of the story, and it's at this like edge of the world near a waterfall place, and I don't remember any of it. So I would kind of like to beat that game, and it's getting a physical release. Same thing with 10 and 10-2, which, like, I've got 10 on PS2, 10-2 on PS2, on PS3 and PS4, and I might as well just pick it up again because I like my Switch for the portability, straight up.
I'm Detective Phelps. We received a call about a domestic disturbance in apartment 803.
Oh, the detectives. Listen, Mrs. Bishop's pretty upset. Take the elevator and then left down the corridor. It's the last door on the right.
But, like, I still want to find a copy of, no, I think it's only on digital for PS4 Salt and Sanctuary, but, you know, I'm literally looking forward to those.
Sounds like we're about to make it a hat
March,
trick of
I think.
hysterical female
Like
witnesses.
early March or early April, so it'll be enough time for me to, you know, Resident Evil just came out last Friday. Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out this week. I've got, did I go the wrong way? Yes, I did. Said left and I go right. No, wait. But, you know, hopefully on spring break I can start one of those two.
LAPD, ma'am. Are you in danger?
I'm all right now. You just missed them. Horrible, awful men.
Are you injured, Mrs.
Mrs. Bishop. Gloria Bishop. Please, come in, officers. I'll just need to sit down for a moment. Forgive me.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am.
Just look at this mess.
We'll take a quick search of the premises, ma'am. You take a moment to gather your thoughts.
I will. Thank you, officer.
I do remember there's a lot of stuff to look at in this room. But speaking of the Switch, I remember seeing, I think it was Thursday or Friday morning, at least for, you know, Friday morning for me.
This is going to help
Nintendo had said that, hey, we're not happy with that Metroid Prime 4, so we're going to scrap everything and give it to the people who made the original trilogy.
Junk.
Which I'm 100% okay with that. You know, you want to make it, you want to make it up to the standard that you've got 3 original trilogy.
You have to do to earn $20,000.
Then you got a couple other ones, like, was it Other M and Federation Force for the 3DS, which were kind of, you know, why kind of thing. And excuse me.
Don't think this is
And it just kind of, you know, I'm perfectly fine with them, you know, completely doing this all over again, just so that way they have the best product they can put out for the Switch. And the only The only thing that I kind of hope, or at least ask for, is, hey,
Presented
like
to
everybody
Mark.
who's probably saw that video and asking themselves the same things, like, could you give us the original trilogy? Like, port that over, please? Because, I mean, hell, that'll give us plenty of time to, you know, play through those 3. And by the time that comes out, hey, Metroid Prime 4 comes out. So.
Great Wall of Babylon. A replica of a replica.
I don't know. That's just me. But I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of people have that same viewpoint. Even some of even like the video itself, where it had like, it was like,
It's like we found our mermaid.
A shit ton of more.
Who are these men in the
thumbs
picture?
up. I'm fine. That's okay. We're
My
cool with it.
husband, Mark.
You know, as opposed to
and
negative.
Marlon
so.
Hopgood. They work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
Not everything here is going to be
Very
relevant.
true.
Those men, I think they work for Guy McAfee. Do you know the name?
No. Why should I?
June Ballard is married to Guy McAfee. Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McAfee alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his new picture. He doesn't include me in his business.
She looks like the younger, paler version of the woman I interviewed in that hospital.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her
in the beginning
no.
of this.
He had
case.
Joan Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got the finance. June made all kinds of threats. She was very rude to me.
You know June Ballard?
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
Where can we find your husband, ma'am?
He told me he would be on set. That's all I know.
Either we find him or McAfee's people do, Mrs. Bishop. If you care for him, you should make sure that we find him first.
I do care for him. But I don't really know where he'd go if he were in trouble. Hopgood might know.
Why is your husband paying Lorna Hopgood $20,000?
Lorna? Marlon's ex-wife? Are you sure?
Wow, that was so blatant.
Your husband looks like he's being blackmailed. They obviously have something on him if he's prepared to kill to cover it up. Why is the payment going to Hopgood and not McAfee?
Lorna works at a check-cashing place in Hollywood. You need to ask Hopgood why he needs that much money in cash.
Your husband was at a casting yesterday with a young girl?
Not that I know of. He told me he was looking at locations. The picture's been cast.
What was that?
Jessica remembered a mermaid. The mermaid on the front of the prop store. You better come clean with me.
This is a sick town, Detective. Are you sure you really want to know? The truth is, my husband likes them young.
Ew.
And you think that's okay?
I was 16 when I first met him. I thought he was a genius, a magician with film. I was 20 before I realized he was just a B-movie hack. But he's nothing compared to some of the monsters at these big studios. My guess is Ballard sacrificed her little friend. Happens to a lot of girls.
Your husband is in trouble. It could go easier for him if you were more
got a
helpful,
new
Mrs.
outfit.
Bishop.
He's a big boy, Detective, and so are you. This is Hollywood. There's always a deal to be done.
Yeah.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Screen props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Thanks.
Slam that phone down. So, this morning, or I should say Saturday morning, I don't know how I got onto it.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, a movie producer's wife. They're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost famous.
And from the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act.
Okay, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how I got on to the idea of it. Like I've been racking my brain like all day Saturday trying to figure out how I got to it. But anyways, multi-carts. Like I'm just kind of curious as to like what your guys' view and opinions on them are. Like there's ones I've seen where it's the like for Super Nintendo it's like the SD to SNES, where basically you just put an SD card in.
Mrs. Bishop knows more than she's letting on.
She doesn't seem to realize how much trouble her husband is in. The LAPD are the least of their worries right now.
You'd think she'd have gotten the hint after those Hatchet Men redecorated her apartment.
Maybe she's just loyal.
Or she's in on it. She didn't seem like your average giddy broad with nothing between the ears.
Or she might just be trying to buy enough time for Bishop to put a couple of oceans between him and McCaffrey.
So it's like Rourke said, you put your SD card in it, and it's like it'll play all your ROMs while sitting on an SNES console itself. And now that I think about it, I was watching an ETA Prime video. That's how I got into multi-carts. But I have one multi-cart, and that's just for what's that thing called? The Revo K101, which is it's like a small. Like if you take the original 3DS bottom part, it's about that size, the bottom half, and it'll play things like Mega Drive, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, NES, Mega, like it plays all like the basic stuff, nothing too fancy. And like I've got it, I've had it for a little while. I want to do a review of it, but at this point in time, it's super old. But I might still anyways. But it has, it has a little.
Phelps and Bukowski, LAPD. We're investigating the attempted murder of June Ballard and Jessica Hamilton.
Christ! I'm Marlon Hopgood. How can I help?
You hold castings here?
How'd you hear about that? I got a little soundstage out back.
Lead the way.
But it has a little like Game Boy Advance cartridge. It's just a multi-cart. I had put in my SD card and whatever. And it was something I used to play, when I was waiting between classes and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like I kind of think the idea and the concept of it, because I saw one for DS. It was like 520 games, and I was looking through all the games that are on there. I'm like, yeah, there's maybe like 6 that I would play. But then I started looking through some of the other ones, and I think one of them was like 400. And...
Keep him here, Stefan. I'm going to take a look around.
What's this got to do with me?
Don't try my patience, knucklehead.
No, it had 200. It was like 206 games or some shit like that. But like the first, like it shows all the listings. Like the first like 15 games are all the Pokemon games that came out. And I was like, I didn't even know they made that many Pokemon games on the DS. But I mean, you have X and Y, so it's 2 games, but they're the exact same game. And then I had the DS Final Fantasies and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I could maybe see myself getting one of those just for shits and giggles and just to play around with it. I mean, the ones I found on eBay were like $20.
So this is where you sprang from.
So like, I'm not like advertising for them, like, hey, go buy these or whatever, because it's technically illegal. But I just think that the idea of like a multi-card is kind of cool, kind of interesting. That I can play all these ones on just a DS that, I mean, I don't play my DS as much as I used to. Something just broke. And I've even wanted to find one of those, the SD to SNES flash carts or whatever, but they're so damn expensive.
Listen, I have to call you back. I got some business here.
Sit down, Courtney. This is Mickey.
Mickey, this is Courtney Sheldon. What would you like to drink?
Scotch. Straight up.
I hear you're back at school learning to be a doctor, kid.
Yes.
That guy
That's
right
Mr.
there.
So you want to be a
Mickey
doctor
Cohen.
and a dope peddler.
I can't remember what his name was
Interesting
from the
combination,
show
huh?
Happy.
Do we have a problem, Mr. Cohen?
Smooth, I think his
We
name
might
was.
have. Yeah. Selling your dope to my boy
Yeah,
Lenny
I
looked
think
like a
that
good
was
move, but Lenny has
his
been
name.
supplying
In the show Happy. That was a
wholesale,
great
so
show.
to speak.
They need another season of that.
The Bindle boys in this town aren't used to the juice without a little of the middleman taking his cut.
Lenny promised that wouldn't happen, Mr. Cohen. And Lenny works for you.
What can I say about Lenny? Let me think. Oh yeah, he's a putz. And he's lazy, and he's greedy, but he's my wife's brother. And how can you make a cake with those ingredients, huh? Jeez.
So how is that my problem, Mr. Cohen?
Well, kid, the only way we're going to be able to make this work is to do some repackaging. We need to get the dope out of those dinky little cardboard boxes and...
Surrettes.
Yeah, Surrettes. Great. We can put it into a big vat so we can water it down a little bit.
I won't bore you with the chemistry, but it doesn't work that way. You're likely to kill even more people.
Okay, listen. We want to buy you out, kid. I'll offer you 50 grand.
I wonder what that
Hey.
would be in
Hey.
2019.
You don't like my offer? The Sheldon kid? I think I want him dead.
I definitely cannot read any years on that. Speaking of TV shows, I started watching was it the Ted Bundy tapes or tapes of Ted Bundy or something like that on Netflix? That looks a pretty interesting, because all it is just really just the interview tapes with him. Thought you could get back there. But damn it, there goes again. I'm saying again. But I was thinking about this too. I think I got 2 episodes in before my girlfriend fell asleep, and she's like, "I want to rewatch them." But
turn off the
I
lights.
was thinking about this. I was like, we've got.
Why would I want to do that?
Now we've got Ted Bundy. We've got was it Making a Murderer?
One way mirrors.
What was the other one?
There's a room on the other side.
Oh, there's another killer we got on Netflix.
Well. Find a way into that peep den, Phelps. I'll stay here and keep our...
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I was thinking, why is it that we don't do more of these? I'm pretty sure that there have been, multiple ones on multiple people before, but I mean, the only one I know of, was it Son of Sam?
Doping a 15-year-old kid and abusing her in a screen test. What is
movie,
wrong with these people?
Which I don't remember most of it, but I mean, it seemed it was kind of me, from what very little I can remember. The only thing I've ever seen so much on Ed Gein was, what was his name? Rob Dyke, YouTube guy. He does a lot of horror and true crime stuff like that. And his was the one that I think it was a 15-minute video. But I was thinking about it, I was that could be, you could make that. I mean, they made 4 almost hour-long episodes of Ted Bundy tapes. So you could do how Ed Gein was, raised all the way up until he was caught.
So what happened to the film of Hamilton's screen test?
Because I mean, that's one of those things. It's, there's Making a Murderer and all these true crime kind of things that people are just going to eat up. So I don't know. That's just me. God, finding all these movie film cans was such a pain in the ass.
Jungle Drums, 8th and Francisco. Attention, Mark Bishop.
So I'm pretty sure I've already talked about it, but I had to go through, because I had a video guide that I was going to each location, with it. But there was one that I missed. And when I was looking at it on the video, I was looking at it on my screen, I couldn't see it. So I was like, oh yeah, I already got it before. Cool. Moving on. And then I forgot which one I, looked over because it was like on the, hold on.
You ever do any work for Mark Bishop?
Mainly do work for the studios. RKO, Republic, Warner Brothers. So yeah, when Bishop was doing work for a studio, yes.
When did you last see him?
Now I'm doing work for his next picture. Still pre-production though. Haven't seen him around here in a while. I'm sorry, but I'm really busy with an order for a new movie.
Yeah, there's something that I missed. I think it's supposed to be 3 questions. Can't go out that way. Okay.
Detectives. Johnny Goldberg. You work for Mickey C.
That's right, detectives.
You wouldn't happen to know the guys who roughed up Mrs. Bishop earlier today by any chance?
No, not us. We don't do that kind of thing. It's the husband we'd like to talk to.
This is a police matter. You don't want to be taken in for obstruction of justice, do you, boys?
You could try the obstruction rap, but it won't stick. We could beat that.
You've had your 10 cents worth, gentlemen.
Bishop knows how the world works. Mrs. McAfee hits him up for a movie part. Happens every day. But Bishop takes it a step too far and tries to rub out Mrs. McAfee. Naturally, Guy is going to get upset.
What made you think Bishop would be here?
We figure he might be planning a little accident for Hopgood, too. Those 2 guys have got some unfinished business. You let us know if you find Bishop. Guy McAfee can be a very generous man.
I'm only going to warn you once, gentlemen, to stay out of this. This is a police matter. We will be bringing Mark Bishop into custody.
At least he's polite. Kind of dumb, but polite.
But I'm a lot less polite, you smug son of a bitch. So let me put it in ruder terms that even a pair of blockheads like you might understand. The only reason that you don't have bars on your windows already is because you're small fry. And we don't waste our time on small fry. You stay away from Bishop, and you stay away from me. Is that clear enough for you, asshole? Now run along back to your boss so we can pat you on the head and tell you what good boys you are.
Man, cop insults back in the 40s were kind of lame. But, oh, now
I don't think they like your little pep talk, Bukowski.
No, dude, just get out right in front of where the bullets are coming from. You know, there's this weird thing called, how the fuck did I shoot him in the chin with his hat?
Covering fire! Throw down your gun if you like. Still gonna hide.
Check it out.
As soon as you go up to the bell, just step on.
That is gonna be the weirdest walk I've ever seen.
You're covered, Phelps!
Come on.
You're pretty brave for a dead man.
Gotcha. Well, my aiming is not that great. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so like I was saying, with the movie Tims. So I got all the way.
Let's see him chase us now. On to the movie set, Phelps. Let's roll.
Said, oh, here's the last
Oh,
one. I got
Christ.
the last one, and it was
They
like
say
29
working
out of
traffic
50,
is like watching paint dry.
You know how to piss people off,
He was up to like
Mikowski.
27,
Hey,
28.
they're prepared to gun down cops in broad daylight. McCaffrey really means business.
That was the one
Seems like we're the only ones who want Bishop alive.
I have a good mind just to let him go
That-
work on the son of a bitch.
Like the
I'm
way
about
that I
done
came
putting
up
my
to it,
life on the
the way
line to
like
protect some child molester.
That's our job, unfortunately.
Just how it,
They don't get to dole out the
angles and
justice.
everything like that. It just hit the tin right on the bench, table, or whatever it was. And I don't know, it was just so crazy. But it's over. I got it. I platinumed this. I'm moving on to other games. Seriously? Oh yeah, I remember this shootout.
There's the slippery bastard now.
No. God damn it!
Mark Bishop, stop! LAPD!
Well, almost got a third of the way through the landmarks.
We're trying to help you, Bishop. This is all a big mistake.
Just keep an even pace. You gotta go all the way up here first.
It's us or McCaffrey's boys. Your choice. I didn't do
Why are
anything.
you running?
That girl made it all up.
And oh, there it is.
Don't make this any harder on yourself, Bishop. It's $2. She's blackmailing me.
You know, I was just thinking about, does anybody else see that? I don't know how many people actually listen to my videos.
Hands in the air, Bishop.
For those who do, I appreciate you. For those who don't, I still appreciate you for even checking my shit out, because
Mark Bishop, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of June Ballard and the rape and attempted murder of Jessica Hamilton.
All right, I'll come quietly. Just don't kill me. If you found me, then McAfee's goons will too. Oh, we need to get out of here.
All right, but you stay close. Any tricks, and I'll save McAfee's boys the trouble.
Follow me. I know another way out of this place.
anyways, someone.
Christ, detective, they're trying to kill me.
Multiplayer in Skyrim.
Last chance to back
Which
the hell
I think
down.
is pretty cool. I mean, there's only so much you can really do in Skyrim. But even doing this like a multiplayer thing would be kind of cool. Just a cool concept. Just
It's this
to beat
way.
the game in a different way, you know, with multiplayer. Granted, again, yeah, I think it would be the same thing as Fallout 76 using Fallout 4.
Kill them, for God's sake! I don't want to die!
Those look explodable.
There's no way out of here. I thought you said you knew where you were going.
We have to jump for it.
LAPD, you're making big mistakes.
That is a gun that I've always wanted, was a Thompson.
Come on, it's this way.
Best McAfee's got.
Oh, there they are. Alright, yes. Leave me alone.
God, they're
No
everywhere.
shit. He's up. There he is. Wow, I shot his hat off.
Weapons on the ground, now!
Those are explosive.
Just got you there. There's a ladder leading to the ground. For the love of God, how many are there?
I don't know. But eventually they'll stop.
Get him over here, I'll cover you! Come on, the cavalry's here!
I don't want to die here.
Well, then keep moving.
Those barrels at the base of the elephant column. They're full of gasoline. Shoot them! Quickly!
How long do you think you can hold out?
That was clearly a miss, but okay.
Let's move forward!
Stay down.
So that's what he was talking about.
Follow me. We need to get him to the car.
That is one thing that I always end up doing in games or something like that. It's like, if you shoot this one thing, you'll take out a whole group of enemies. I'll shoot that last and take out 2, as opposed to like the 10.
I should have known that thing would...
Come on, stand up.
Just fine. Out of there.
Well, that did the trick. One shot, one kill.
Come on, let's keep moving.
Get him to the car, I can cover you from here! You're almost there!
Put your weapons down.
Let's go! Stay with me. Fuck you!
Got another trouble. Now it's done.
Got you down, motherfucker!
Where the hell is it?
Kill a cop. That is the electric chair.
Wait, that didn't kill him? Yeah, it's fine.
Now, this is what I call a result. Mark Bishop, erstwhile film producer and all-around piece of shit, catches a fast ticket to Quentin for statch rape and attempted murder. So he gets to spend the next 15 years playing sissy instead of sticking it to little girls. That is justice with a capital J, Detective Phelps. You developed such a reputation, I'm not going to be able to hold on to you any longer. You're getting promoted.
Oh, nice.
Go on, get your new assignment. It was good working with you, son.
Got a promotion. Cannot complain about that. Oh, this asshole.
Phelps, Bukowski.
This your work? Can I help you, Detective?
Sorry, Cap. Didn't see you there.
Yeah, I'll bet you didn't. This is a traffic case. You need something?
I'm here to buy a drink for the 2 LAPD traffic cops who broke the back of Guy McAfee's private army. You don't have a problem with that, do you, Captain?
Go right ahead.
Get in. I'm buying.
This guy just screams crooked. But that's just me.
You'll like this place. A lot of movie people hang out here. You like jazz, Cole? The hopheads love it.
Sure, I guess.
Big bands and swing I can understand, but this bebop palaver? How are you supposed to dance to that?
Figure it out.
This is Phelps, Leroy. Be nice to him. You'll like this place. They treat you right.
You like a table, Roy?
What do you think we want to do? Stand at the bar like
I'll
chumps?
get a table ready for you.
Don't look so happy to see me, Alphonse. I might get the wrong impression. Cole, this is Alphonse. He's a French Negro from Africa. Can you beat that?
The Congo.
A pleasure to meet you, Alphonse.
Is Elsa singing tonight?
Yes, she is. She has the next set.
Come on, Cole. You can meet Elsa while they're fixing us a table. You'll like her. She's something else.
Maybe another night, Roy. She's pretty beat up about it.
Get your hands off me. Don't ever tell me what to do or what not to do, Alphonse. You got a nice club here. Don't spoil it.
Please let me kick the shit
me,
out of him.
detectives. Just through the door.
Is there a way to shoot your partner in this game?
He was my only real friend, Harlan. We went through it all. Do you realize what he meant to me?
Of course I do.
You have no idea. You said it was construction work.
It was an industrial accident, Elsa. How can I be held responsible?
Elsa, are you going on?
Louis, for God's sake, he was my best friend. The only man who ever loved me without putting his hands on me.
Hi, Elsa. Here's someone I'd like you to meet. Cole Phelps, war hero and crime fighter extraordinaire.
And why would I want to meet another fascist from the LAPD?
Sorry about this, Cole. What an evening I'm having. First a Negro puts his hands on me, and then this. Who do you think you're talking to, you German junkie whore?
In?
Don't you ever forget your place with me again. Do you hear me? Evening, Doc. How's business?
Sanguine. Louis, help me here. I'm gonna have to give her something before her performance.
Blow it off, Cole. These artsy-fartsy types always get a little flighty. Meet Dr. Harlan Fontaine, doctor to the stars. Mr. Fix-It to the mental wreckage of Hollywood. So what about that drink, boys?
All right, well, that concludes The Fallen Idol. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next action. What the hell am I talking about? Next episode. Later.